Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Emily. Today I have for you a nice yoga flow with some blocks. So if you don't have any blocks today, these are really inexpensive. You can buy them quite cheap, either online or some local fitness store that may be nearby. Or even if you don't feel like splashing the money on any little blocks, you can always use some sturdy hardback books in place of these blocks instead. So don't worry if you don't have any yoga blocks, you can always use some books instead. So we'll get started. You can join me on your mat and we'll begin at the top with our toes together and we'll move through some rounds of half sun salutations just to warm up our body. So standing nice and tall through the body, coming into our Tadasana, our mountain pose. As we inhale, reach the arms forwards and up. Bring the palms together in prayer at the top. Exhale, we can dive forwards into a forward fold. We can generously bend the knees here. Maybe the fingertips come down to the mat. As we inhale, lengthen through the legs and slide the palms up to your shins or thighs, coming into a half lift. So we have a nice flat back. We're drawing the shoulder blades together here so the chest comes through. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, reaching the arms out and up, coming all the way back up to standing. Exhale, hands come down in prayer. We'll do that a couple more times. Take a breath in. Exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, reaching the arms forwards and up. Little bit of a back bend. Exhale, fold forwards. We can bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen to your half lift. Either fingertips to the mat, shins or thighs. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, reaching the arms out and up. Exhale, hands come down in prayer. Beautiful. One more time. Take a breath in. Exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, reaching the arms forwards and up. Little bit of a back bend. Exhale, hands come down. Folding forwards, bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen to your half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching the arms back out and up. Exhale, hands come down in prayer. Beautiful. So we can grab hold of our little blocks now and we'll just place these blocks in front of the toes. We can bring the feet about hip width apart here. And bringing our hands to the hips, inhale, stand nice and tall through the body. As we exhale, hinging from the hips, we'll fold forwards again, coming into our forward fold. But this time we're staying lengthened through the legs and we can bring the hands to rest on top of our blocks. And again, we're drawing the shoulder blades down on the back together here so that the chest pulls through and we have this nice extension in the spine. Slightly tucking the chin in and just taking some nice deep breaths here. Maybe we can play around with the height of the block. Perhaps we can shorten or come to the middle setting, or perhaps we don't need our blocks here and we can bring the palms to the mat. But for the point of this video, we are using our blocks today. So whatever setting we like our blocks on here, nice deep breaths. And then keeping our right hand on top of the block, really ground down through that right foot. Squeeze the toes into the mat and we can bend into this knee, the right knee a bit here. As we inhale, lift up your left leg. We can stay grounded through the left hand here on the block, or maybe we can extend the left arm up into the sky, coming into our half moon. So the left hip opens out to the side, the left side of the room. And we can either keep our gaze down to the mat, or maybe slowly, gently, we can take the gaze up towards the top hand. Just taking your time here. Strong standing leg. Exhale, gently bring that left hand down to your block and we can step that left foot back behind. We can step the right foot a little bit further forwards. So we frame the front foot with our blocks. So whether we're on the higher setting here or middle or lowest, we're in a high lunge. So we're nice and active in the back leg. The back of the knee is shining up towards the ceiling. And we're reaching that heel down towards the mat. So we have this nice extension all the way through the back leg. Nice deep breaths. On your exhale, gently lower the back knee down and untuck the toes and come to rest in your low lunge. This knee is in line with the ankle here, and we can keep our hands on our blocks so that we're nice and tall. We're not folding over this right thigh. Nice deep belly breaths or Ujjayi breath here. One more breath. On your next inhale, lengthen through your right leg and come into your half split. We can walk the blocks back a little so that they come in line with the shoulders. And we're flexing the toes up towards the ceiling. Pressing the back of the knee down towards the mat. Deep stretch. One more breath. Exhale, we can sink back into that front foot. We can bring the blocks to frame the foot. And then just place your blocks or your books onto the lowest setting possible. We can then plant the palms on top of the block, tuck the back toes under, lift the knee and step back your right foot into a downward facing dog, supported with our blocks here. And just taking a moment, we can maybe paddle the feet a little here or find some stillness. Just taking a little moment to reset the body. One more breath. On your inhale, gently shift your weight into a plank. Keeping the hands on our blocks here. As we exhale, we can bring the knees, chest and chin to the mat, or we can chaturanga, knees up, elbows in. Exhale, lowering yourself down with control. Inhale, lift the chest and chin up to your upward facing dog. Exhale, taking it back to your downward facing dog. Take a moment to breathe. And then on your next inhale, lift up the left foot and step it between the blocks. Keep the back knee up. And we can always bring our blocks back up to the highest setting here if we need for our high lunge. And again, we're nice and active in the right leg this time. So we're shining the back of the knee up towards the ceiling. We're lifting up through the pelvis, engaging the perineum, and reaching through that heel. Nice deep breaths. Keep lifting up through the pelvis. Exhale, gently lower that back knee down, untuck the toes, and coming to rest in our low lunge. Again, we're active in this asana. We're lifting up through the pelvic floor still. And almost like we're pulling this left thigh bone back into its socket. And this right hip starts to face down towards the mat. One more breath. On your next inhale, lengthen through the front leg. We can walk the blocks back so they're in line with the shoulders, coming into our half split. If we feel like we're sitting quite far back, we can always slide your right knee back a little so the hip comes in line with the knee. And again, just some nice deep breaths. Keep pulling the belly in here and almost like we're tucking this tailbone down. We're not curving or reaching that butt up. Tuck it down. Beautiful. Nice deep breaths. On your exhale, gently sinking back into your front foot. We can bring the palms back to, the blocks back to its lowest setting, and planting the palms onto the tops of your blocks. Tuck the back toes under, lift the knee. And again, step it back to your downward facing dog. Just take a quick moment here. Nice deep breath. Exhale, gently bring the knees down to the mat, untuck the toes, and just take it back to a child's pose, however you like to take your child's pose here. Whether that's with the arms extended down by the sides, or maybe even a pillow with the hands to rest the forehead on. And we can close the eyes here, take a moment to connect with your breath if the mind has wandered. One more breath. On your next inhale, we can bring the fingertips underneath the shoulders and just pressing into them so we come to sit up on the heels. We can then bring the hips to one side and the legs round in front. Keep your blocks to hand here, and we'll just bring ourselves down to lying on our back. So just casually help yourself come down. Bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a quick hug here. Maybe a nice little rock from side to side to massage the back. And then we can bring the soles of the feet back down onto the mat. The feet are about hip width apart here. Tuck those shoulders underneath so they're planted on the mat, and press the palms and feet into your mat here as well. As we inhale, rolling up the spine vertebrae by vertebrae, lifting the hips up into our bridge pose. And this is where we can grab hold of our little block. We can either have it on the middle setting to rest the lower back on like so. My t-shirt's a little bit in the way here. There we go. Hopefully we can just about see. So whether we have it on the middle setting, or maybe we can take it up to the highest one. And again, placing it under the tailbone, the sacrum here. And we can plant the palms back into the mat wherever we are, whether we're on the middle or highest height here of the block. Nice deep belly breaths. Enjoying your supported bridge pose. One more breath. On your exhale, gently remove that block, pop it to the side, and roll back down the spine of vertebrae by vertebrae. We can then hug both the knees back into your chest. Just a quick little hug here to counter that stretch. Maybe a little rock side to side. And then grabbing hold of our block again on the lowest setting this time. We're going to place it back underneath the lower back. So we're supporting our lower back, our sacrum here. And the knees can be bent here, the feet are on the mat. Bring the arms down by the sides, but palms face up and the fingers come to their natural curl. As you inhale, bring the knees back into your chest. Exhale, press the heels away from you and reach the feet up into the sky, coming into our reclined staff pose. Just for a nice little restorative inversion here. And this block just helps lift the hips up higher and elevate the hips so that we don't feel this too much in the legs. And instead we can relax a little bit more into it. We can have a very generous bend in the knees here if we need. Don't feel like you have to be lengthened through the legs. Just listen to your body. See what it needs. Deep belly breath. One more breath. Exhale, bend the knees, bring them into the chest. Give yourself one nice little hug here. We can pop that little block aside with grace. And just giving yourself a little hug, one last rock side to side. And then from here, we can either roll over onto the left or right and just casually help yourself come back to sit. And there we have it. Beautiful practice today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that little flow. If you did, please like the video, maybe leave me a little comment below, and please subscribe to my channel for more free yoga content. Thanks again for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.